to obey the rules, and we were rewarded for our good behavior. I also love Fridays because that's when we had to bring something for show and tell. One day I brought a pine cone I found in our yard, and I was so proud of it. I had such a wonderful experience in kindergarten that I didn't want to go to first grade, but my mom told me that I could go and visit Mrs. Bullard on my free time. My first grade teacher was Mrs. Stacy Fairchild. She was so nice and approachable. It was fun, and we get to color and shape just like in kindergarten. My second grade teacher was Mrs. Connie Webb. She gave us stickers when we answered the question right, so it was really fun. On the third grade, Mrs. Sandra Fairchild was very fun-loving. I learned the concept of multiplication and how to write stories. She was a very patient teacher. With Mrs. Jones, I liked her being so calm, and she never yelled at us despite our being naughty. She gave us candy when we were good. She was also generous with compliments. Mrs. Becky Moore patiently taught us how to write stories, emphasizing mechanics in writing. Mrs. Trudy Rollison was funny. I loved going to science lab doing experiments because she made us feel like she was one of us. Mrs. Lucy Harmon made our math class fun. She let us eat candy as long as we spit it out before the next class. Mrs. Carrie Boyle took us to Get and Go to get candy at the end of 6 weeks. Mr. Alfredo Falcone was very funny too because we compared music to food. And Mrs. Janet Valenzuela encouraged us to read, and read. Miss Jamie Settles also took us for ice cream when we get 100% on our spelling test. Miss Brandy Sweet, thank you for pushing us to keep moving and for emphasizing to us the importance of good health. Last but not least, Mrs. Peggy Luce, thank you for sharing your precious time with us after school to practice for UIL. With all those things you shared, you have molded us as a whole person, for we learned not only how to read, count, solve problems, sing and dance, but also how to be a good individual. Your patience, trust, and encouragement have developed in us self-confidence to go out of our classroom and compete in any event during our school and district competition. I believe that you have done a big part of what we are now. Hence, tonight we have a great reason to celebrate this momentous event for letting us taste the sweetness of the fruit of education. To our school nurse, thank you, Mrs. Doris Miles, for nursing our bruises and simple cuts. Of course, ice pack cures everything. To our secretary, Mrs. Gracie Falcone, thank you for letting us stay in your office when our parents were running late to pick us up. I also thank the cafeteria staff and the janitors for all the services that they have done. To my dear classmates and schoolmates, thank you for the time, food, and things that we shared together. The camaraderie we have had in school is something to be cherished. I know that sometimes we play games that cause troubles. I hope that we forgive one another and whatever resentments we have had in our hearts. To my beloved parents, dear teachers, and school principal, on behalf of the graduates, I would also like to apologize for whatever misbehavior we have had shown you in school, which caused you so much stress. I know that your forgiveness has cleared our conscience, so I think it's time for me to bid farewell. Thank you.
Shelby, on behalf of the janitors and the cafeteria and all the teachers, we accept your apology. Forgive all of you for all the misbehavior. You know, we're always have to watch our weight down here, and I'm thinking, is it all the food? Because she talks about a lot of food here. We might need to rethink our approaches. Thank you, Shelby. Now I'm going to ask Eli Ludlow to come and share his speech.
Good evening. I would like to start by saying thank you to all of the teachers who have put up with us over the years. You have put in a lot of hard work, supporting us, and passing knowledge on to us, even though sometimes we didn't want to learn. You have inspired us and taught us how to think for ourselves and to be responsible young ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank all of our parents for supporting us as well. Thank you for waking us up and getting us to school on time. But the fun is really just beginning. Someone has to drive us to early morning practices and travel to see our games and other activities. Moving to junior high would be kind of sad. We were the big fish in elementary school now, but now we will be the little fish. As I transition from the elementary into junior high school, I look forward to meeting new teachers and taking new classes. Congratulations to my classmates. to a whole. Thanks again.